was a meeting I had with the Deputy Secretary of Defense, and he gave us a very simple mission order to protect our force projections platforms, our training base, our industrial base, and a budget. And that's all we had.
Guardian was set up by then Colonel Nichols, now Major General Nichols, who's the commander for the Army Contracting Command, for the purposes of developing a CBRND installation protection program in order to provide integrated capabilities to post camps and stations that allow them to respond and react to a potential WMD incident.
We always got requests to come up with different programs. How would they look? What would they look like in the future? What capability would they bring? But it seemed like a week they came back and said, you got the full $1.1 billion. We want you to stand it up right away, and this is a rush.
Guardian was born out of 9/11, so it's always had a sense of urgency.
Guardian really went through a time period transition where the original mission Guardian had, which was the installation protection program, was really drawing to a point where it was getting close to the end of its mission. And we had about 2 years left to execute, and it was decided that based on rearranging and reprioritization of DoD, that especially in the portfolio for chem biodefense.
We started with installation protection. We then added consequence management, those folks that help respond to an event, that WMD incident, whether on an installation or off.
When Guardian was stood up and consequence management became part of Guardian, at that time we were only about 2 years old.
Then we added force protection capability, again as another piece surrounding an installation. That brought entry control, anti-intrusion, physical security capabilities that installations and tactical units use. So we've been able to fold those capabilities into a more integrated fashion.
We see the installation as a system. In the same way that a tank is employed to a soldier that's provided to them to give a certain amount of lethality, a certain amount of mobility, and a certain amount of protection, the installation is no different.
In CONUS, any Army installation we have responsibility for. Either coming in the front gate when you show your credentials and get access, whether there's an arms or a skiff on that Army base, we provide the security system for that. So any base, we basically have some touch to it.
There has to be a place of refuge, a place of protection where the soldiers can go when they're done with their field mission. So that when you are on your place of refuge, that you are safe and that you are protected and that you know that there is a response to return you to that pre-catastrophe state should something occur.
What I see in a whole is from the Guardian program, how it has provided an enhancement of way to manage consequences when the unthinkable happens.
Recently, we've just added integrated base defense. How do you make all this stuff work better? How do you take disparate sensors and share and fuse information in a near real-time environment that commanders can now use effectively?
A lot of the things that we're learning for the warfight actually apply to installations here. So as we move forward and the war ends, as the threat will probably turn back towards the United States, we should be able to leverage those same concepts and make base defense here at a place like Fort Belvoir or Fort Meade much more effective and much more efficient.
Certainly the budget changes made the program evolve. The $500 million cut. Obviously our plan for IPP was not feasible. We essentially had to restructure the entire program to fit within the budget that we were now constrained by.
What impressed me about Guardian was their ability to rapidly field equipment. So I was really interested in being a part of an organization that was known for meeting warfighter needs. At the same time, it intrigued me to be part of an organization that wasn't just about chem biodefense, that were looking at things in a more broader perspective.
As we were moving along, we were at a pretty steady state. We had the Fort Hood incident occur.
The incident happened on Fort Hood where several service members preparing to deploy were basically attacked and fired upon by another service member. First responders being able to quickly move in and address the issue was greatly hampered by just the confusion of the situation and no common means of sharing information, no common means of notifying population and local community. The 911 response and ability to call people dialing just simple numbers of 911 became complicated.
They came to us as a possible program to field a solution to meet the requirements of the Fort Hood study.
Thus the foundation or the genesis of this program, the Emergency Management Modernization Program.
I wanted to join JPM Guardian, and I continue to serve at JPM Guardian because I feel that Guardian supports the warfighter 100%. As a former U.S. Marine, I know how important it is to have the right equipment on time that meets the mission.
Guardian delivers consequence management capabilities to support the homeland. They deliver protection capabilities to support the combat outposts, as well as fixed and remote technologies to support installations, whether they be CONUS or OCONUS. So you've got such a diverse mission space tied together by protection and response.
I think we're one of the few PMs, JPMs, and we may be the only JPM that really has a big footprint in theater. And Colonel Barraclaw, I mean, he is so focused. He knows that we provide equipment over there that saves soldiers' lives. And he is very focused on that, and he's very concerned about that. And he doesn't rely on getting word third hand. He goes over there himself, talks to people, sees what needs to be done, see what the gaps are, what people need, and then he tries to come back and shape the programs so that we actually provide what soldiers need to save lives.
A lot of the roots of where technology and development, research and development is being done is in the DC Beltway. We are the entity down here that does it. We speak, the warfighters speak. We know what their needs are.
You know, they understand that delivering capabilities that meet the user community's expectations is paramount in this day and age. Guardian deep dives into the strategies, the policies, the requirements, and the CONOPS to really understand the way the capabilities are going to be employed, but maintains that strategic view of where things are going to go, very often ahead of the users.
When I first went over to Afghanistan, and I saw that our non-intrusive inspection systems, our personnel and vehicle scanners, and I saw them used at Bagram, and with the difference they made, how they were protecting everybody on the base. For me, that, because it was so personal, that to me it would be the biggest success, and simply because it was something I could see our capabilities making a difference and actually experience it firsthand.
We are actually looking at S&T to see where the cutting edge technology is and to see how it fits in the Guardian's mission space.
What is the enduring capability that we think the warfighter needs in the future? Colonel Barraclaw and the Guardian team strategically has been thinking about that for the last 2 years. So we're already poised to accept that mission.
As we look forward to the next 5 to 10 years, really focusing on that core, becoming more and more efficient as we are able to bring resources together, and really focusing on that ability to integrate and interoperate.
The challenge for Guardian is in helping the Army understand how they can better utilize the equipment they already have and utilizing that equipment in new and different ways.
Well, I think it's going to be paramount that we continue to deliver capability that is relevant, that is interoperable, fielding capability that is really going to meet those challenges in the future. So we can't just think about the threats today, but what are those future threats?
I think Guardian needs to continue to build on its successes. In the future, they can take the next step where they can really take on a role of being the lead within DoD in all areas of force protection.
We've been queried by several different countries at this point because we are very much entrenched. We've set up the installation protection and a lot of the consequence management responses that work with both the military and civilian officials. So I can see that what we've started here will be expanded on a more global level.
I think, quite frankly, the fact that Guardian is an organization that has always been able to respond, that has always been in a constant state of flux and development, that means that the organization will always remain relevant. And that's really I think, more than anything, what Guardian really represents, so that ability to protect, to be always present but never seen. I think that's the essence of what the Guardian organization has become and will continue to evolve with Colonel Chung and future PMs.